is on this morning. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator 22 on Glenleathann, and I'm loading the silage into the cart. I thought I'd put the high-speed belt mod in. Maybe I downloaded it and forgot to activate it. Not to worry, we've only got 128,000 litres of silage to transport, so it's only going to take a little while. Let's kick us back up to ×3, and I need to figure out where we're going to sell this stuff. Well, the best place is exports, and they do give a environmental bonus. Whoa, dude, I think my camera is a little bit off center there. So, whole crop silage, it's not a heavy crop. That looks like a full volume load, or load by volume. Oh, hello. Oh, we haven't done that yet. Okay. I figured being in the cab would be easier to see where I'm going, what with all the trees in July. But July 3, we do not have a lot of stuff to do. Obviously, when we got up on July 2, the silage was at 97%, but it is a 4-day fermentation process, 4 game day fermentation process. So of course it did take a little while for that final 3% to go through. Did I not pull forward far enough? I did not. Well, we've got some over freezing temperatures now. We're up in the 30s, and I think later this week, next week, we're actually going to hit the 40s, which isn't bad for winter in Michigan. The snow has melted. All that's really left is the remains of snow people. We have 2 large mounds of snow in the front yard where the kids made some snowmen last week. Out of my way, flying deer. So, what's been happening this week? This week, the kids aren't here today. They had a thing at school till late yesterday, and the girl has a birthday party sleepover event tonight, and the boy didn't want to come without her. So I think Mrs. Osa's going to pop out and take them out to lunch today. Kind of for right now. That's all we have going on. Oh, it's going to rain today. That's unfortunate. Well, I say that's unfortunate. Once we've got the silage cleared, Weather's coming at lunchtime. Okay. I will take a sec. Well, I think the silage was 128,000 litres. So this will be another 52,000, which will leave less than a cartload. So I'm kind of going to be okay with us taking a full truck now, and then when we come back we'll just leave this under the belts to load while I take the Renault out to our field and mulch it, because that's a thing that needs to happen. Now, I think we only got about 15,000 from that silage that we just sold. So 30, probably end up with 40,000 more, so that'll put us about 80. I do want a lime spreader. I kind of prefer not to go with the smaller one. Now my hip issues appear to be getting generally better. There's still a problem, but I'm starting to be able to feel the back pain more than I used to be able to. So the physical therapist has said we can now turn more of our attention to working on the back problem now that we can actually feel it. So that's a good thing. I've only got 2 more sessions left, but he said at the end of this week he'll do an analysis and see whether insurance is happy for us to continue. If we've shown some improvement but it's still bad, insurance will basically say, yes, this seems to be working, you need to keep doing what you're doing. Now, in other news of health, I burnt my lip this week. Normally I get pot noodles where pour hot water in a pot noodle and leave it to stand for a minute. I got some different ones, which were fill the pot with room temperature water, then stick it in the microwave for 5 minutes, then leave it to stand for a minute, and then burn your lip. So a little bit of a problem with that this week. And you're not full. Okay, let's figure this one out. Okay, that got that bit there. And we'll then move this over here. Jump out of that one. Jump in this one. So yeah, that was a bit of a problem. Oops. Oh, I hate this bit because it doesn't play well with coarse play. You can go up and down with the left mouse button, but in and out you have to do with the right mouse button, which turns on the coarse play thing. Anyway, this should get us 52,000 litres. I might need to make another adjustment to the belt to completely empty that. 6:43 game time. We have, call it 5 hours before the rain happens. So I should have enough time to go roll that field, mulch the field. Then we have to think of something else out, I guess. And there we go. Of course, the bit I like about this tractor is the four-wheel steering. It is big, and unfortunately the trailer hitch is not capable of taking that turn as tightly as the tractor is. Anyway, sorry, that's as may be. Let's get this to the store. I'll jump in the cab before we get too far this time. Yeah, work was work. The problem is we've had a lot of issues with things that have been a problem for 15 plus years, but nobody's really cared too much about it to call it out and say, can you please fix it? And now we have other IT teams using data that is unreliable and complaining to us that it's unreliable. It's been unreliable for 15 years and you didn't check with us before deciding to make use of it. I mean, I can understand the issue of the data, if we store it, needs to be correct. But nobody used it. Now they've decided to start using it. And so we have to fix it. And to fix it, we have to change the way the business does things. And that's pissing salespeople off because, oh, I have to change everything we do. Why did we have to do this? Because the data in the file's bad. Well, can't we just ignore it? Unfortunately, we've been doing that for 15 plus years, and now somebody wants it, and it needs to be reliable all of the time. So, one of the problems was if you change the address that you're delivering to and the state changes, it'll kick you back to pricing to calculate a new tax amount. And unfortunately, taxes are calculated in the pricing section, not in the did you change the address section. So this was okay in theory if you're in Michigan and you're delivering to someone in Ohio, you have to sell it to them with Ohio sales taxes rather than Michigan sales taxes, which is understandable. So you change the address that you're delivering to and the taxes change, because some of our customers are across state lines. They exist in multiple states. The problem we discovered was in places like New York. The example I got was New York, but I understand Florida is similar. New York State has a sales tax. The counties can have sales tax. And the cities can have sales tax, which means, in theory, if you've got two cities bordering each other, depending on which block you shop in on Main Street, you could pay 7% tax or 8% tax. So saying, oh, you've changed the address from New York to New York, it's okay, doesn't work. So we have to kick them back to pricing if they change the city, the state, or the zip code, because the taxes could change. I'm guessing we could probably just go with city and state. We don't really need to go to the zip code level, although it's the zip code zip plus 4 that's used to determine what the tax amount is. You know, normally states don't have two cities called the same name because that would be a little bit confusing. But anyway, we have to deal with that situation. So now we're kicking them back on or a change in any one of the three. So you could deliver to Troy, Michigan or Troy, New York. You've changed the state, therefore, and the zip code. But therefore, that's a potential tax issue. If you change it from Troy, New York to Manhattan, New York, then you've got potential change in sales tax. Although you didn't change the state. I was going to get out and do the mulching. Never mind. This is almost empty. Oh no, you're going to miss that last bit. You are going to miss that last bit. But obviously now the salespeople are upset because they have to go through pricing so many times, and then if they ever change the address. And that makes them unhappy because they have to do things that they weren't intending to have to do. But I can't help that because in the quest for accuracy, unfortunately accuracy takes precedent. Let's just back it off completely. Now I could get around this turn problem by turning off the 4-wheel steer and just putting it on 2-wheel steer. Stuck in the weeds, stuck in the bushes. Okay, that's down. Now I need to press the right button, turn that off, suck that in. And this is in reverse, so I'm steering backwards to do this. Still. That's sufficient. Okay, whatever. I'll just run over here again. So, whole crop is done. Nice. And I think this one is also backwards. Emily Cyrus, hey, welcome to the stream. Thank you for watching. Now I can't remember what I was talking about, so time for a different topic. Oh yeah, 4-wheel steer thing. So just because this has 4-wheel steering doesn't mean I have to keep it on all the time. It's kind of handy for field work and within the yard when manoeuvring. But when on the road, it's probably better to turn it off because you don't want to overstress the hitch on the trailer. I am doing okay. It's a usual Saturday morning in Michigan. During the winter, it's raining. Or has been raining. But I'm indoors, it's nice and warm, and everybody else in the house is asleep. Because I'm the only morning bird. Teenage Osa gets up to do schooling during the weekdays, and at the weekends she stays in bed till midday. Mrs. Osa generally doesn't get up early in the morning. Again, she's not a morning person. she used to have a job where she had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to drive to her job. So for about 25 years, she's been thankful she doesn't have to do that anymore and takes full advantage of it. But she does stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. So effectively, she's reversed her day. She used to have to get up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning to go to work and go to bed sometime in the afternoon, so she'd get enough sleep to go to work the next day. And now she does the opposite of that. On stream, I just play Farming Simulator at the moment. I used to play a lot of other games. I used to play Truck Sim, European and American, on streams. I used to play World of Warships on streams. That was before we became initially foster parents and then adoptive parents. And I don't have enough time to stream during the week anymore, because other things take precedent. Saturday's always been an exception because everybody else is asleep right now. So this is me getting up in the morning and just relaxing and playing Farming Simulator and sharing it with anybody who wants to stop by and watch. I will answer questions about Farming Simulator. I am not a farmer. What I know about farming I learnt from watching YouTube videos. However, I'm a computer programmer, so I know how computer programs work, and thus I can play a game and see the logic behind how it works and effectively come up with, while trying to play realistic. Like I said, I do watch YouTube videos about farming, so I understand some of what farming entails, so I try and stay as realistic as possible. But in some situations I will take advantage of game mechanic that isn't necessarily available in the real world. I have been streaming since, I want to say 2017 September, which is when I got this PC. So my PC's a little bit long in the tooth, and I do need a new one sometime this year. But yes, a lot of my streams were Farming Simulator, even the mid-week ones. But as I said, we went foster parent initially and then adoptive. So I just don't have time to do things at the weekday. As soon as I get off work, I've got to do other things. Also, my medical issues. I've been sitting in a chair for 8 hours. I need to get up and de-stress my back. So, yeah, that sort of thing. I would like to stream sometime during the weekday. Currently, obviously, because of my lack of wanting to sit at a PC 24 hours a day, and I work at one, what I tend to do is not play games during the week. Although since December, a game called Railroader came out, and I am seriously enjoying that. So that is a game that I am playing. I think the field I want is this way, and I'm having a lot of fun with that game. I am from England, but I live in Michigan, and that's an incredibly long story that involves governments and taxes, and my goodness, this field looks horrible. But it's mine, so I should do something about it. But yeah, my wife's from Ohio. We met on the internet, and she came to England to marry me because the rules on getting married in England aren't quite as restrictive as the rules getting married in America. And then after about a year and a half, I had a falling out with the UK government and decided I wasn't going to pay them any more taxes, since they decided I was scum of the earth and needed to pay more than the average person because of the way my business was structured. And my wife sort of said, I miss Walmart, so we said, fine, let's go back to America. And it was difficult to get sponsored to come here. So much so, my mother-in-law ended up sponsoring me to come to the country, even though I had a job lined up. And since then, I've been here ever since. This is easy work for the Renault. Leicester, hang on, Leicester or London or both, or I wasn't born in the East End of London. I was born in Romford, which is out on the outskirts of London, depending what organisation you are. The post office thinks it's Essex, insurance companies think it's London, and the London boroughs think it's London. And then I grew up in that area for, we're slowing down here, maybe not so efficient after all. But yeah, we lived around London for years.